You do not need to rely on the little blue pill to get an erection. Nature has some very powerful tools to help you, no matter what your age, and could potentially cure erectile dysfunction if implemented on a consistent basis. So today, I'll be revealing what these tools are and showing you the evidence to back it up. My name is Stirling Cooper. I'm a former research chemist that spent years researching how to improve my own performance and have proven those theories by becoming an award-winning adult film star. So first off, it's important to understand that your is triggered by one molecule, nitric oxide. According to Dr. Louis Ignarro, who won the Nobel Prize for discovering nitric oxide, famously refers to it as the body's natural cardiovascular wonder drug. Low nitric oxide production is actually one of the main causes of erectile dysfunction. And for those that don't know, nitric oxide is what relaxes and dilates your blood vessels, thus allowing blood to flow into your penis. Without it, you literally can't get an erection. And even Viagra won't work without nitric oxide, because what Viagra does is it prevents the breakdown of nitric oxide in your body, allowing you to maintain an erection for much longer. But nitric oxide, on the other hand, helps you get and maintain an erection. And these natural methods I'm about to show you boost nitric oxide levels in your body within hours of implementing, and in some cases within just a few minutes, meaning you could see a noticeable difference in erection strength tonight, and the effects last for several hours. However, I will say that if you have severe erectile dysfunction, it is unlikely you will see an immediate effect from these methods, because in most cases, severe erectile dysfunction is caused by clogged and physically damaged blood vessels, and nitric oxide alone won't fix that. But if you stick with these same methods I'm about to share, it will also help you to repair and clear out your vessels over time. The first method is eating nitrate-rich foods. Nitrates are the raw material your body needs to produce nitric oxide. One study showed a 21% increase in nitric oxide levels within 45 minutes of consuming beets, which are one of nature's richest source of nitrates. And beets are part of the Mediterranean diet, which is touted by Dr. Louis Ignarro, the man who discovered nitric oxide as one of the best diets in the world for nitrates, and even backed by Harvard as a way to help with ED. Now, if you'd like a deeper dive into diet specifically for rock hard erections, I cover this in much more detail and show you all the best foods to eat in this video right here. But to get that 21% boost in your nitric oxide right now, the participants in the study did was drink 70 mils of beetroot juice, and the boost in nitric oxide lasted for hours. The second method is cardio. When your heart pumps harder, blood pressure rises, and if your blood vessels are healthy, it will sense this rise in pressure and immediately release nitric oxide to lower it. Because remember, the role of nitric oxide is to relax and dilate the blood vessels. One study showed that it improved nitric oxide by 29% right after exercise, which is pretty huge. So if you want that spike immediately, do 30 minutes of moderate intensity cardio, around 60 to 70% of your max heart rate. This could be jogging, cycling, swimming, it doesn't really matter. You just need to get the heart rate up a little bit. And to calculate your max heart rate, simply take 220 minus your age. Then maintain 60 to 70% of that number for about 30 minutes. Now, ideally you make this a long-term habit, especially if you have severe erectile dysfunction, because cardio has been proven to improve the health of your blood vessels over time. The UVA from sunlight converts the nitrates stored in your skin into nitric oxide. This is why in ancient Ayurvedic medicine and traditional Chinese medicine, people practice a thing called sun gazing. Although they didn't know the science behind it, direct sun exposure was well known among them to improve blood flow. One study has shown that total body UVA exposure immediately increased nitric oxide levels by 44%. So the takeaway from this is to get in the sun for 10 to 20 minutes, and ideally do that every day, because there are so many other benefits such as increased testosterone production and sperm quality. Cocoa contains flavanol, which are known to stimulate nitric oxide production and also reduce oxidative stress, meaning it prolongs the effects of nitric oxide by preventing it from being broken down too quickly. One study found that over the course of 30 days, participants with high flavanol diets had 47% higher nitric oxide levels than participants with low flavanol diets. Another large-scale study of 25,000 men published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition found that high flavonoid intake had 9 to 11% lower instances of ED, and when combined with things like cardio, the effect was even greater. Now, the effect wasn't immediate like the first three tips, but it's still worth a mention. So if you want this boost, you can consume 30 grams of about 85% dark chocolate every day. Your nasal nasal passages actually produce a large amount of nitric oxide. The purpose is because nitric oxide has antimicrobial properties. It kills bacteria, viruses, and fungi in the nasal passages before they reach the lungs. It's also to dilate the blood vessels in your lungs, allowing your blood to absorb about 10 to 18% more oxygen. And by breathing through your nose, you vacuum that nitric oxide into your lungs. But nasal humming in particular has been shown to increase nitric oxide levels by 15 times compared to quiet nasal exhalation. This is because it shakes the nitric oxide out of the sinus cavities and into your nasal passages. So to do this, exhale slowly while gently humming. Make sure you keep your mouth closed so air is only coming out through your nose. Do this exercise for about 2 minutes for an immediate boost in your nitric oxide levels. The benefits of the sauna are quite similar to cardio. It forces your heart to pump faster and harder, which then raises your blood pressure. Your body senses this and reacts by releasing nitric oxide to bring that blood pressure back to normal. Studies have shown significant increase in nitric oxide levels right after sauna use, and done over a long period has also been shown to stimulate the formation of new blood vessels throughout your body. To use the sauna, I recommend using a traditional sauna at about 70 to 80 degrees Celsius for about 15 to 20 minutes, ideally 2 to 3 times per week. And speaking of the sauna, aside from the benefits I just mentioned, there are many more fantastic benefits that most people don't know. In fact, I'd say it's the #1 thing you can do for your health in terms of effort to reward ratio. If you'd like to learn more about that and how you can use the sauna to reap the most benefits for your life, then check out this video right over here.